wave, have been a thought force or what have you, was himself in Ile-Ife. Today, as captured though, in one of these outings anyway, like this. So he was there to see Oni. And for those who saw him, where's that picture? Hang on. It's this image. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to like walk through my screen, by the way. Hang on. Yeah, so it was seen in Ile-Ife today, as well as Akure in Ondo. So the first clip, I think it was, it's this one. Hang on. And I think it was also caught where it was making a statement as well.
We must now vote for character, competence, capacity, commitment to turn around Nigeria. I'm begging everybody to help us. And I've said, hold me responsible. This country can work. This country can produce food you can eat. How can we live in this vast land and we cannot produce our food? We cannot produce food when our people are going hungry. Until I come for campaign. That day I will be able to tell you what we will do, how we will do it, how this place can do what it will do. It is not campaign time, but we have a vast land. My proposal is that I want to turn this place for consumption to production. People can no longer continue to live in a land where we cannot feed ourselves. One state in Nigeria can feed Nigeria. Talk less of 30 states. I was in Niger State on Sunday, and I told them we cannot continue to live here.
Sorry that I didn't get any longer clip. I just wanted to tell you that it's everywhere 24 hours before their campaign, where we are going to be keeping a tab on them and what they are saying. Something like this, when they said he was addressing, I think, bishops. This one seems to be clearer.
This is a job that requires physical and mental energy. And we must get it right. And that is what we're asking. The church must be at the forefront. Our children cannot continue like this. There's no offense they committed by being Nigerians. Nigerians are the best you can get in the world. And we have the energy to change this world. All we lack is that we have criminals who have hijacked this country, stealing everything away, and we are keeping quiet. Please, the church, wake up. Take back your country. God bless you.
Those, the ones they had the controversial cut out from and said, Christians, take back, church, take back your country and all that stuff. Whatever. Bokwari, who happened to be the disaster that Tinubu and the rest of the bat idiots, the APC, Egbekegbe, the legacy of a murderous tyrant, a corrupt, irresponsible, never there or never available, a ghost leader, a mannequin, so to say. The legacy of backwardness, the legacy of killings, the legacy of kidnapping, the legacy of joblessness, the legacy of insecurity, as you can see. These are the legacies that Tinubu is coming to continue, no matter how much they try to disguise them. Even though somehow, they are trying to distance themselves from these failures. But there is no way they could or they can do that without feeling the pang of Bokwari and gang, who have been giving themselves pat on the back that they have done a very, very fantastic job in Nigeria. And you can tell, body will tell you, right? Now, this same Tinubu is unwell, ill health. old age, and many other things that are going to keep him incapacitated, never to be able to even fashion out, and at the same time lead a sort of a sort of needed kind of a recovery that could in a way prevent this bloodshed of frustration that is hanging over Nigeria right now. A sick man is not in Nigeria. They have to quickly take him out to come and pump him up. Here in the UK, we have been told, even though for now they are being quiet about it, okay? But he's here in the UK, we have been told, and this is going to affect everything. Now, here is the point, oh, he is a sick man, okay? No matter how you feel about it, right? He is a sick man. He is an old man. And trust me, yeah, he deserves every rest he can get. You know that. There's nothing wrong in resting or taking a rest, okay? But look at it. Bokwari, who took over the job of being your president, look at where they have left you and look at where you are today, right? Now, this one, before Bokwari eventually ghosted all of you, then he was able to at least go about. He didn't show any symptom of a sick person. I mean, they managed to hide it enough that he didn't fall sick. To be transported and shipped everywhere to get a booster injection that will make him kind of come back to life in a way to appear in public for pictures, for all those things that will make you think, well, at least he's still alive. Now, this Tinubu own, Bokwari's own, he showed you the pepper after he got the chance of holding all of you in your jugular like that with that power be. Now, Tinubu, who is your president in the waiting, sorry, that is not a sleep. With the characters we know in APC, Egbekegbe, the antecedent and what they are even doing right now, yeah, you can tell as you are preparing for election, they are preparing for something else, right? So as he is like your president in waiting. He doesn't have the stamina to go about and tell you, even his own party people, Abi, to tell them how he's going to make your life in a little bit way better than the routes they have taken you in the last 7 years. It doesn't have the stamina. It doesn't have the mental capacity to do anything. This is facts. This one no be say that they hate him, they don't like him. This is a fact. And a sick man seeking the top job, and he has sick morons, hungry, starving, as they said you are hungry. Majority of you are hungry in Nigeria. Those who are yet not displaying the hunger, they are scared of what the hunger is going to feel like. Because of this, everybody's filing up behind a sick man because of what you can get right now. Now, that's a fact. And that is now affecting even what you probably could have called an opportunity to start your own 1 million and 10 million, 100 million match, or whatever all of you are doing right now. Yeah. Tinubu is in London receiving injection, jags, and all of that. Abi, trying to be fit enough that he can appear and blab on different routes. And so he's so tired. Okay, he should go and take some rest again. Now, that's exactly what you're going to experience. That now they have extended indefinitely. They called it to this. Initially, they said tomorrow. What they were going to do is to manage. They were even planning, from what I have been told, especially with the sort of escalation of the report that Tinubu has been smuggled out of Nigeria, that he is in the UK. Yeah. And you know that the flight between Abuja and London is just 6 hours. So from what we have been told, they said like tomorrow now, they are not launching, they are not campaigning. What they are planning tomorrow is they are inviting everybody from all over Nigeria. They are people, normal, who are the 455 people they announced as their campaign, whatever. Now they will bring people from everywhere. They are already headed to Abuja. Now, so tomorrow, in order to make everybody kind of feel like, where is Tinubu? Where is Tinubu? Because they said their plan was to call everybody together and do prayers Let's pray for, that's what they are planning to do tomorrow. So in order to make, to dispel the rumor that Tinubu is sick, their plan is to bring him and fly him back to Abuja. A quick one. It will show up. Okay. It will, they will do all the prayer, they will do all the blabbing, it will do all some kind of blabbing. After that, they will say, we are now going to continue mobilization. They have already announced that they are not doing any campaign until October or indefinitely, until later, when Tinubu is healthy enough to go out there to come and tell you how he's going to make your lives better. Not my own life, oh. I thank God for my own life, oh. You get what I mean now? So if we remove what they have turned you to in Nigeria, honestly speaking, all of you should be having the same kind of testimony. Me, I thank God for my life. I thank God for what I have managed to do for myself and then for my family and all that. So for the likes of, Tinubu and the product of Tinubu and the gang in your system, okay? So it could probably be another thing entirely. You know what I mean? But back to it. There will be no campaign yet until he is kind of healthy enough, popped up enough to come out and then tell you how he's going to change your situation from what it is right now. Something that he probably had no clue, as you know. So they said that they are going to start doing a 1 week prayer, which is likely going to extend to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or more. But the choice that you can, as you can see right now, the way your whole thing is now kind of going. When I did my own summation, I'll tell you what I came to. What I finally came to is that if, as it is, we have Obi, and then you have Atiku, who want to be president like as desperate as possible. Then you have Kwakwanso just on the side, and you have Tinubu, which somehow has also pitted Yorubas versus Yoruba, even in Yoruba land as we speak. And then you have Obi in the east, which has pitted Igbos versus Igbos in the east as well. We can actually save ourselves. Something I keep repeating, and something many of you continue to try to ignore or downplay. To save ourselves from the bad blood, chase them, push them, catch them, burn them, kill them, and the rest of that this old shenanigan, this old charade is going to eventually pop up as you are getting into it. How about we all agree that let those who are let the Igbos choose who they feel represent their interest in an autonomous independence region called Eastern Nigeria. You can call it Biafra, which is the tag, right? So that, you see, those of you who are Yorubas, right, who have been kind of in the equation of things, you have been kind of been unfortunate with a sick man, Tinubu, and so many others who are around right now, yeah, that we could all as well go back in and drag it out in there and decide who do we think is healthy enough, intelligent enough, experienced enough, at least, that can lead us. Same thing for the Middle Beltans. Same thing for the Arewans. Now, after we have done all of that, like agreeing to all of that, then you can then all these regions can then come to and say, hey, do you still want to be part of Nigeria or not? I mean, by so doing, there will be conditions that says, okay, being part of any union again is under these terms and conditions, under this agreement, which under probability, probably will never happen. But I'm just saying, like, think about that. They have told you, right? Or they have made you believe that, you've got no other alternative, no other option. We will never have any other option of how we can govern ourselves, how we can, reach our potential as a people. generation from generation to generation, they continue to create millions and millions of us, right, that are going to fit in perfectly into their poverty brackets. And some of you are not seeing through that because they've told you there is no other alternative. I mean, there's no way we can, Meanwhile, that Nigeria is still existing today, right, is not because of the wish of the rogues who have been benefiting from it and who have ruined it and then brought us to this sorry state. Okay, it is because, religiously, many of us were raised that there is no or will never be any alternative. Sadly, so we believe, and therefore anything else is just going to be like, nah, it's impossible. But while you are those who are giving the energy to the existence of Nigeria, when you continue to believe the same system, right, that brought us to this state, right, believing the same actors that contributed to this ruin, that they have suddenly figured it out the way they believe they can now make Nigeria work for you. So I would continue to say that because last, it is going to be what many of you are going to come back to as well. It may be too late. It may not be so late, but somehow the earlier, the better. Now, come to it. If you see Tinubu as a Yoruba man in this, I keep finding the right name I can give to this, your charade 2023, until I found one. Anyway, I'll keep trying many names that comes to my mouth, right? But you see this planned genocidal adventure called 2023 charade, right? Tinubu is a Yoruba man. With Tinubu, you have Igbos, you have Yorubas, you have Northerners. I'll use Northerners because of other ethnic nationalities there, who are saying that it's Tinubu. Now, when these people, let's start with those who are Yorubas, naturally, who will tell you, you are a bastard. This is because of what their politics has turned to. But pay attention. The Tinubu supporters, right, that are Yorubas, they kind of, with this sense of entitlement, believe that how can you be a Yoruba man and you are not supporting a sick Tinubu? Even if Tinubu is sick, even if Tinubu is on a wheelchair, even if Tinubu doesn't really kind of, have any sense of putting words together anymore due to old age, ill health, and then some sicknesses that they've mentioned before. But he's a Yoruba man. I mean, how do you feel with yourself? Criticizing Tinubu? You are a Yoruba man. You are going there to support Atiku, or you are going there to support Obi. Like, what is wrong with you as a Yoruba man? That idiot has forgotten that Atiku is Fulani, Obi is Igbo, Showore is also Yoruba, Kwakwanso is also Hausa Fulani, and him as a Yoruba has also forgotten that Tinubu's and those who are working for this same Tinubu, first, Tinubu is not campaigning to be president of Yoruba land. He wants to be president of Igbos, Hausa, and everybody, right? So this idiot that calls you a bastard as a Yoruba man that is not supporting Tinubu, he has forgotten that there are also Igbos who are supporting Tinubu. There are Fulanis who are supporting Tinubu. There are Hausas who are rooting for Tinubu. But because it is what your politics is already built on, no matter how much you have tried to live above it, you will never deny it, right? So that Yoruba man, having a Yoruba Tinubu there, automatically believe that, I mean, it's a sense of entitlement. How can you, a Yoruba man? Now, just like I told you about your Anese earlier, if you now turn the table as well, as an Igbo man, that believes that, I mean, for equity, justice, and all that. And when it now comes to, you know, capacity, what do they call those 3 C's? Should they call them 3 C's or before C's or something? The capacity, competence, and the what? Anyway, so they say, but Obi is this, is younger, is a former businessman, is run a business, is a former governor, is a former a banker, CEO, and all that stuff, right? So to you, but anyhow, this, I mean, you know, this is not because he's an Igbo man. You get that now? So, you know, that kind of argument will make sense and say, it's not because he's an Igbo man. Let me go back a bit. There are Yorubas that will tell you, I'm not supporting Tinubu because he's a Yoruba. I'm supporting because he has done so well. He's a former governor of Lagos. He has created so many people. He has brought so many, you know, he's turned Lagos into mega city and all of that stuff. But it's a lie. It's because he's a Yoruba man. Because all those things you mentioned, they are purely made up nonsense. The entire place is a mega slum and the rest, okay? But because he's a Yoruba man, he is offended that you are not seeing all of that as a Yoruba man. So how dare you to go and choose another person? So you as an Igbo man, I mean, Obi is this or that with all the qualifications you say, right? But you are offended that some Igbo are not seeing those qualities. And they are seeing those qualities you are seeing in Obi. They are seeing the qualities in Tifnumbu or seeing the qualities in Atifku. And to you, what do you call them? What do you call bastards? As in Yoruba, they call them Omuale. If you are not supporting, if you're a Yoruba and you are not supporting Tifnumbu, you are called Omuale. So what do you call the Igbos that are not supporting Obi when you are angry? Efulefu? Is it Efulefu or Iberibe? I'm going to go and read my comments. So Efulefu or Iberibe. Now that is what your so that is what your politics are. No, you will not admit to it. Many of you don't. No, many of you don't. Okay. Sometimes you prefer that, for example, right? If somebody says, "Oh, I'm not supporting Obi because of what I heard about him. I'm not supporting Obi because of what he did in Anambra," and then you kind of want to say, "Okay, what do you mean?" And the rest of that, you check and say, "Okay, who are you supporting?" And he says, "Well, I'm supporting Tifnumbu because of what he did in Lagos." Igbo, Emeka versus Uche. And then to you, you kind of feel so offended. Like, how dare you? You are an Igbo man. You see everybody. You too, forgetting the fact that there are also Yorubas who left Tifnumbu and they choose Obi too. Now, you know why I'm telling you all of this? Is because this is what your elections and the rest of them, they are not based on anything developmental, anything progressive, other than the normal free talk. There is never anything so clear enough other than hate, vile. You see this Olori Bruku, this is this madman. You are a madman. You are just a baby factory. You are this and that because of, who they choose. But naturally, you feel that way too. And some of you have expressed that feelings. But it is what Nigeria is. Normally, I remember the other day when I told the people, I said, if you have been so honest, if we have been very honest with ourselves enough, we will see that there is nothing that we share in common. Something that we could say the national goal that an Hausa person, a Fulani or an Ijaw person, an Igbo person, or a Yoruba person will be like, the tribal, ethnic, religious nonsense that they play about. They don't really get to them because there is this national goal that's normally once you drop that line, everybody's whatever is just going to cool. It could just be like a remote control. For example, if you have been following the the Biafran struggle and the history, you will realize that until lately, normally wherever you are as a Biafran, whether you supported the Biafran days or you didn't, or whether you still do or you don't. Okay, there is this kind of a solemn feeling when the issue of Igbo land or Biafra pops up. You kind of have to open up your ears like that, like, because I'm a Yoruba man and we feel like that. No matter our differences in the political space or religions or whatever, yeah, as Yorubas, naturally, okay, when conversation around Yoruba or issue around Yoruba generally or Yoruba's interest pops up, you as a Yoruba man, naturally, you are going to pick up interest in them, so to say. That is the national, I mean, that's something that should make you the nationalist as a Biafran nationalist, as a Yoruba nation nationalist, like that. That's something you are connected to. Nigeria doesn't have that. As Nigerians, me, I don't have any connection with any Fulani. Do you get that now? Except for the fact that we are all one Nigerian that they forced together. There's no other connection. There's nothing. Right? As a Yoruba man, right? I don't have any kind of a connection, so to say, with the Igbos. Now, I'm saying this because, when you talk about everybody holding their own national, culture, tradition, and the rest of that, things that really defines you as a people. I'm a Yoruba man. I can't even speak Igbo. If a Fulani man is talking beside me, I'm going to be completely lost. I will have no idea. And I bet you, if I'm speaking Yoruba among some other people who have never been to Yoruba land or who have never had any reason to learn the language, they are Nigerians. We are all Nigerians. If I'm speaking Yoruba right now, they are going to be completely lost. Now, we are in the same country. So there's no real dark connection to say, oh, if I remember this, because we are one, oh, I remember this connection. This connection is what will make me never to want to leave Nigeria because we are connected here. Oh, this connection is what, there is none. It is just turn by turn kind of Nigeria limited. That's what we experience. That's what we're living. Okay. So if you then kind of pay attention to how much of these nationalistic ideas that have completely evaporated from every part of Nigeria today, right? You can blame that on the forceful identity of one Nigeria, which ordinarily only breeds hatred between one another. Some of this you cannot even explain. Why do you not like this? Why do you not like that? Why do you actually feel that strong? Why do you feel so strong like that towards these other people? Why do you can't? Some of you can't really explain them other than what they told you. I heard they said, my father said, my auntie, all that stuff. But guess what? They still want all of us to what? To identify as a Nigerian and then progress that way. That's kind of that's effed up. But we can save ourselves from this. We can save our children from this same experience. I wish those before us stood their ground when the First Republic was being truncated. Like the people of South Sudan. Remember that when South Sudan gained their independence from Egypt in the early 50s, I'm sorry, in the late 50s, I believe. Yeah. Then the Southern Sudan, when Sudan gained independence, Southern Sudan had autonomy. It was also like an autonomous independence region, near semi-independence region, which means Southern Sudan were in charge of their own affairs, even though they are still part of the larger Sudan. That was the agreement. So you can use Nigeria too. In Nigeria, when Nigeria got independence, right? Yes, there was Nigeria, but there was Eastern Nigeria, Western Nigeria, and Northern Nigeria. Now, Northern Nigeria, Eastern Nigeria, and Western Nigeria were independent of one another. You know the story, you know the history, you know what happened then, and you know how they stopped it. In Sudan, a coup took place, like in Nigeria. When the coup plotters took over, they canceled the constitution that gave autonomy to the Southern Sudan. They canceled everything and they hold the whole country as one country, like Nigeria. And for 30 years, 30 years until the early 80s. The Southern Sudanese, they did not go to bed. They did not go to sleep. They did not fight to be part of that larger Sudan and now to control the bigger Sudan. They continue to fight. It was war. Go and read the history. War since the 60s in Sudan, Southern Sudan, because the coup plotters who are northerners, Northern Sudanese, they when they took over their coup, because of the resources in Southern Sudan that gained independence with the rest of Sudan, right? They abrogated everything and it led to war. The Southern Sudanese were like, no way. We know it's our resources. You are now telling us about national this, national that, for the sake of national Sudan. No. We didn't sign up for national Sudan. We signed up for independence, independent Sudan and autonomous Southern Sudan. Independence and autonomous Western Nigeria was what our forefathers signed up for, not unitary system of Nigeria that you are experiencing today. That is now pitting many of you, Hausa, Fulani, Westerner, Easterner, versus this and that, because you are fighting to go what? To go and fix one Nigeria for the rest of us. 30 years, Southern Sudanese, they fought war with the rest of Sudan. And they restored back their, their autonomy. They restored that back in the 80s before Ali Bashir came again, planned another coup, brought everybody together again. One Sudan. But he couldn't keep them for longer because Southern Sudanese, they didn't submit again. You will not take this place. You will not control this place. That was what our old forebearers should have done. But rather than them to do that, they saw an opportunity to be part of a greater Nigeria. That's what they did. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, everybody from everywhere who were living independently then. Opportunity of, we want to control a bigger Nigeria. Look at where that has led us today. One bogus Nigeria with lost identities everywhere. And now today, una no fit hold una self. If this one talk, go back to your state. If that one talk, you this Alimajiri. If this one talk, you this baby factory. And everybody is trying to tell one another they want to fix a country that will work for all of them. Hello? I have seen that before, and I have heard that before. Do you get that? So maybe if our own forebearers, Awolowo and co, if they did not go and queue up the moment the military struck, maybe if they didn't just go and queue up, trust me, maybe today, me and you, we will not have any reason to be so scared of what our situation will become. Because if our man no become president, the Northerners, they were so scared. They were so worried. They are killing us. So if it's a Northerner now, they will never allow all this Boko Haram to kill us. So, hey, what is all of this? When Abacha was there, nobody could kill us like this. So what is this? It's because he's a Southerner, an infidel from Southern Nigeria. They brought Boko Haram. Where did that lead them today? Where did that lead them today? You know the story, but it is Nigeria. Then it's going to be, if an Igbo man become president like this, I believe that, number one, we are not going. I have heard that before as well. You can try. That's the only one we haven't tried, though. But we have tried Yoruba to be president of Nigeria. So where did that lead us as well? Where? I'm just saying my own mind, though. You don't have to agree with me, but whatever you choose, there's something I want you to remember that, again, which I will continue to remind you. The consequences of your choices are always going to come back. You should own them. I just wish, the consequences of this, your choices will be limited to you. So we can save ourselves from all of this. That's my belief. And that is still my belief. We can save ourselves from all of this, whether we like it or not. Eventually it's going to happen. And that is where every one of you you're going to agree later and say, well, you know what? I think it will make sense, not because we haven't done that before. I mean, why not? One day you see this message you are hearing from my mouth, it's going to be the same message that will be in your mouth one day soon. And soon, because I know one thing, right? There's something about Nigeria. Some of you may be young or too young to probably understand this, okay? But listen to this. There is no amount of your belief or renewed hope or renewed belief in system of Nigeria that we are all trapped in right now, that Nigeria will not disappoint you. There's none. And I'm saying this with all sense of should I use all sense of honesty, because it's all sense of facts. Nigeria has a way of dashing that little hope you are building for her, because the system is built to dash every positive hope that could come to reality, because any of them is going to end the reality that they intentionally built for you, the one that has made, oh dear, you get what I mean? So it's up to every one of us. Make your choice, and at the same time, live with them. I've shared my own part there, and I hope you continue to do yours, because no matter how long it takes, like I said, Nigeria has a way of disappointing you. In addition, right, if you look around you today, even you that is watching me right now, I'm not talking about those of you who are like so still energetic. We are going to shock them. We are going to surprise them. I am actually waiting for you to surprise and shock them, because you are going to shock all of us. And maybe now, waiting all of us want right now is that shock absorber, maybe shock all of us back to life, because it's going to eventually, all of this is going to lead to something even bigger than what you are currently probably having in mind. I'm saying it to you. Nigeria has a way of disappointing you, of making you ask yourself later, like, I don't want to break your heart, but there is a way. Nigeria has of disappointing and breaking down your heart until you're going to come back later and say, about see hope for Nigeria. Nigeria no get hope. You know why I'm saying this? Look around you. There are many, many people who are watching me today, who are now pro Yoruba Nation, pro Biafra. 3-4 years ago, they don't believe in any of that. Yes, there are people watching me right now, even you, who can confess on the Temple of Truth during the testimony time. You will see people here 3-4 years ago, they will tell you Biafra or Yoruba Nation is nonsense. Nonsense, my friend. My friend, nonsense. Today, many, many of them, they have not just become the promoter, the advocator, campaigner for the Nigerian peaceful dissolution where everybody can go and manage their own affair. Many of them are investing their own personal money in campaigning and explaining, raising awareness that, listen, one day, waiting that they tell you, yourself go feel them. And when you feel them, you go feel the same way that they are feeling. Yours may be taking time. Their own, it didn't take much time. These are the people that will fight you, tell you are doing nonsense 3 years ago. There are some of them who are like as recent as a year ago. But today, they know better. You will know better. Because Nigeria has a way of making you swallow every of the hope you have created yourself. You will swallow them and say, Omo. That is why we said it is turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. I don't wish anything happen to you bad, okay, that you won't be able to live to tell the story. But there is a way Nigeria always happen. Baba, not be saying you know the trial, you won't be the first to. Obi terente. Baba, people were so damn cocksure about MKO, call on for Rukel, because we never could tell what it would have become if he had a chance. But there are people who you see that thing that as mighty as that MKO stuff was, there are people who are adults now. They are old people now. They were in their young age then. They were, you see, when everything happened the way it happened, so many people never recovered from that. Some of them are watching me too. They never recovered from what looked like a done deal. Like what else? What else could go wrong? So everything gone worse, wrong. People died. You get what I mean? It is Nigeria. So you won't be the first to want to try something, okay? And promise me, as long as you continue to, give them the energy, give them the whole thing they needed to keep the wheel of Nigeria to continue to keep rolling and grinding and continue to milk and, blood you. Trust me, you'll continue to get the same result. It is what it is. But for those who have come to that reality, we need to spread the word. We need to encourage and tell the people, referendum is not war, okay? In a democracy, in fact, it should be an open conversation. And this is not something that is new. It is coming from the background of what every part of Nigeria signed up for. At least as bad as colonialism. They still listen to every part of Nigeria, and they allowed everybody to hold their own base and their pace until those who were supposed to hold them and understand what was at stake kind of lost them. You know the story? Oyibo still allowed you to come and choose what you want. But you see this one Nigeria, nobody was contacted. Nobody was, asked for anything. No consent was sought or what have you. They just said you are Nigerian. That's it. Any other explanation, jail straight. Now tell me, how do you think that is going to last? Do you really think there will not be any generation that's going to question that? So from the background of how we came to be part of Nigeria, I mean, we can ask for referendum, genuinely. It should be an open conversation, not the one that will make you, because a Yoruba man or an Igbo man, that will be supporting those who don't even wish you well, those who will actually cock their gun and kill you if you become a threat to any of their belief. The criminal leaders you are worshiping and the rest of them, right? You watch them slaughter innocent people on something that could ordinarily become a public conversation, a public debate, and healthy conversation that borders on the real people that are part of that contraption. Their consent needed to be sought. Those who are currently holding us down, they won't be able to hold us down for too long. I've told you this before, and I'll continue telling you. No matter how much they try to hold Nigeria, with this arrangement, with this fraudulent structure, with the way that they have made it the rest of us and the rest, every part of that country, trust me, it is just a ticking time bomb. How long they hold it, I wouldn't say. I can tell you and say this, freely. I don't see them hold it together much longer under this arrangement. You know what I mean? And it is better for you to know and get to kind of have an idea, a place you truly belong when the whole house comes crashing. Continue choosing them, continue picking them, and continue living with the consequences of all those your choices. But very soon, and one day, very soon, the whole thing is going to come to an end. I just thought I should tell you. Thank you so much for your time tonight. For now, I am going to actually take a few calls, by the way, just to have a wee chat and kind of rub minds and all that together. So, but I need to go and make myself another cup of tea. So if you are still very much with me, please, stay back, pick up your phone, be part of it, and you can call in. So a quick one as well, a quick one. If you are a Mayegun follower in Nigeria on Facebook, okay, there is from October, which is October next month, there is going to be a monthly free top up a card. You call it recharge card. Is that what you call it? Yeah. So recharge cards for those who actually spend their time and their money to, watching Mayegun from Nigeria. You can use that probably to, keep up with Mayegun as a token from myself and my team. And if you are my friend, even if you are not my friend, I don't care. Okay. If you subscribe onto my YouTube channel, or you are already there and you are from, any part of Nigeria, from October, which is next month as well, there is going to be a 10,000 naira for 10 people every month forever. Okay. So you can win this and you can continue to win it every month. It doesn't matter. People will be like picked randomly when they are with me live doing it. This is my own way of saying thank you for all your support. Okay, even if you don't like me, it doesn't really matter. The fact that you always find time to hang around and say, "You this my egun, you this my egun, God punish you. You this my egun, come back home." You listen to me, okay? All those, in a way, means that you are getting my message. You're just not accepting them. Nevertheless, if you benefit from this gesture, it will be a pleasure, okay? So 10 people every month. And then if I am kind of more kind of blessed with more disposable cash, one day we could make that a million naira every month. And in fact, that's actually my dream. One day I could make available a million naira for maybe 20 people at 50,000 naira every month. I could do that. I mean, that's something I learned about money. People are kind of saying they want to be rich. And I ask myself, if you understand the usefulness of money and the wealth, okay, and then the vanity upon it, and the vanity of wealth is that I figured out that even if you want to own the whole world, you want to be so rich, you will figure out that, Baba, you actually needed just so little for yourself. So little for yourself. I mean, whatever money you make, whatever wealth you accumulate, I have learned that you are actually accumulating them or making them for other people to use. And how do you make money for other people to use? Family members, friends, associates, random people, philanthropy and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, okay, you will make all that money. It's either going to be for your children who are going to take it, blow it off, and all of that. So wealth depends on what you define it as, okay? I believe that when we say we are making money, we are making the money for other people to spend. If you think about that very well, you will never get greedy. You will never get selfish. And then somehow, you will be so contented with whatever you have because you need so little. You need so little for yourself. The rest is just for everyone else. So thank you. When I make more, when I have the capacity to do more, I would love to share more. And to all my generous friends of Mayegun's Diary Political, the people who are the bedrock of Mayegun, on your behalf, I'm doing this to say thank you to every one of you. So go on to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and somehow you may be the next one. And as they say, if it be you. So thank you. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to take calls when I get back. I want to hear from other people too. I will be back.
Liar.